And hello, everyone. Welcome back to the FPL In the Trenches, the Frontline Prediction League. In the Trenches, it is Frontline League on Twitter. Frontline Prediction League is the YouTube channel you're watching this on right here. Please like, follow, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And, of course, I'll mention Top of the Card also. Top of the Card Pod is the Twitter. It's Top of the Card Pod is the wrestling podcast. Five of us talk about actual wrestling. It's on Spotify, it's on iTunes, it's on Google Play, all that fun stuff. Both share the same Discord, which is why I'm mentioning that one. But this show is the FPL In the Trenches, the recap show and preview show, and today it's both for the FPL for last weekend and upcoming in 2 weeks. First time this episode. I'm Scott, I'm your co-host. But as always, joining me is BeerMe. How you doing, BeerMe?
I'm doing pretty good, Scott. It's a little cold out there today. It's not as windy, thank God, but it's still pretty chilly, but it's supposed to warm up here. How about yourself? How you doing?
About the same, actually. It's cold but not windy, so it's just cold. When that wind chill comes in, that's when it gets real bad. So yeah, thankfully we don't have that right now. So, but no, it's cold. It's December 1st. It's cold. It's just how things are now. So, but things were heating up as bad segue with the FPL Survivor Series. Survivor Series WarGames, full official name, to be honest here. And we did have 2 Survivor Series matches because we did go with the tradition. We did start building those in the summer, so that's part of why we kept them as well. But we also had WarGames because we had some storylines that happened to match up with that, and we ran with those. So let's go through the results here. BeerMe. We have, in our Survivor Series... Oh, I'm sorry, you going to say something?
I said let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah. Okay, yeah. We've got, in our main event, Survivor Series match, Team Luke Gray, Captain Luke Gray, Tino, Roman Pierce, CJ Hawk, and Lexi Briggs defeated the Antidote. Team Captain James Costner, Chef Urban, the World Champion, James Blake, Dion Blade, and Alexander McKennedy, the number 1 contenders for the tag titles. And actually, Blake is also the European champion, right? Yeah. I had a moment like, is it Black or Blake? Yeah, so there you go. And that's actually the first time I've gone through the names quite like that because the hype video didn't have names that used the different style. So there. But this match saw Luke once again going through a Survivor Series and winning, overcoming the odds like against the Shrunkbusters last year with CT, and swept. Dion Blade was eliminated by Lexi, James Blake by Tino, Alexander McKennedy by Roman Pierce, James Costner by Luke Gray, and Chef Urban by CJ Hawk. And yeah, because of that, the Antidote had to disband. Had Luke's team lost, Luke would have had to join the Antidote. Instead, the Antidote is no more. It's gone. It's done. And that's been a mainstay. I mean, last year at Survivor Series, BeerMe, we were on the same team, and we fell to the Antidote. Swept. So this is kind of a good full circle moment of them getting swept and being eliminated. I like the happenstance storytelling of that. But yeah, what do you think about Luke Gray getting that big win there?
It looks like Luke found the solution to beating the Antidote. So I'm happy for him. He needed a big win, and I could tell that he really wanted this win. And he broke up a stable that had a former world champ and ultra-violent champ, a world champ, and tag team contenders. So yeah, good on him and good on his team. They showed up and showed out.
Yes.
So, congratulations.
Think about that. Costner is the former world champ and American champ. Urban is the current world champ. Blake is the current
American champ. I said ultra-violent.
Yeah. It's some idea, yeah. But Blake is the current European champ. And, I mean, not saying that you would lose, but Blade and McKennedy are getting a tag title shot in 2 weeks. So they could be the tag champs. So, and Costner is like, I think it was 2 weeks removed from being American champ. So every single person on this team, within basically a month kind of before and after, was a champion in the FPL. And 2 of them still are. On the other side, Luke Gray hasn't won a title here yet. Tino, it's not quite been Tino time yet, but he's been in contention. Roman Pierce, former world champion. CJ Hawk, former world champion. And Lexi Briggs, the pin of champions. Hasn't won it, hasn't got there yet, but no knock on it. I did say that the Costner team seemed stronger just based on the championship pedigree, but Luke Gray, the underdogs, Survivor Series is part of how it goes sometimes, and they did win. So very, very cool. I look forward to seeing what happens from here on both sides, because the antidote being eliminated, like that's the big stable, right? That was it. So now we'll just have to see what happens, because now Costner's on his own, and that's always, always dangerous. So I'm very intrigued by that. Next up, familiar with this match a little bit, WarGames. It was FBU, Bastion, who is a former two-time world champion. Let's get this out there. And the current FPL Tag Champions, the Continental Tag Team Champions, the Must-See Good Guys, BeerMe Jesus, that's you, and the GMSG, defeated Team CT, former world champion Jonathan CT Martin, Ray Russell, and former Canadian champion Smooth Rock, and Infinity, me, Scott, and Red, former tag champions, and the Midnight Rider is a former tag champ with me back in JRPL. A lot of pedigree in here, but a lot of history. This had probably some of the longest standing history, going back longer than the FPL by years. And you guys won. You guys won.
We did. We did. Running away with it. We won pretty handily.
Yeah. I wasn't paying attention through the night where the scores were, but I knew it wasn't good. Like, I wasn't looking at
I forgot that it was hardcore.
Like, I remember that at the start.
I didn't even think that it was hardcore. I was like, all right, it was just 2 picks. Then I was like, oh god.
Yeah, the way WarGames works is if you get a match wrong, you get negative that amount of points. So if you put 2 on the brutes, you're getting -2 instead. Like Hell in a Cell's double that. So that's I'd been in WarGames yet, so I forgot about that. But yeah, it was 66-42 to 38, and 38 was our Infinity. You almost doubled it. It was bad. Lee did the best of us. Red and I did some last-minute changes. That cost us, but we still would only have gotten second place even with those changes. Like, we were just wrong on other things. You guys rocked it. You beat us. Yeah, it was actually super fun to write. I'll say that, because I had some ideas here and there, and then we came up with stuff during the WarGames match. Watching it, yeah, it was lots of fun.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that storyline, like that was pretty definitively the end. I mean, for now, Fight Forever. But with FBU and Infinity, at least, like, that's it. They're like beat us twice for the tag titles to take and retain, and then here, that's that, right? Like, that's it, and that's fine. That's how it goes sometimes. But Team CT held strong a little bit, and of course the Midnight Rider still watching on, so you never know with him because he did good. But yeah, I won't go too much more in detail on that. You guys absolutely killed it. And not for nothing, Team CT did come together and kind of got in there, but it's FBU. I say what I say. FBU's tough to beat, so you guys did good on that. Anything you want to say about that one? While I take a drink here?
No. It was a good win, and yeah, we just got to keep it rolling. I don't know.
And this is coming off the narrow loss that I was at Ash had, that Bastion had against Ash, because he could have been American champion walking into this, but wasn't. It was that close. And like I said, CT, when this was all starting up, he was kind of in the world championship position, and that all got chaotic, and yeah. But no, best of luck against tag champs, everybody, because they're going to be a tough team to beat. I don't know who's going to do it. These guys might hold this for a year at this point. I don't know. It's getting weird. It's getting solution-y, BeerMe. You know what I mean by that. With that year-long run you guys had. So we'll see what happens. Next up, those Survivor Series. I didn't mention how these ones work. How Survivor Series matches work is we had basically a spreadsheet, and everybody's points are added up as the matches go. So after the first match, what are the points? Whoever has the lowest is eliminated. Now, if everybody's at 0, nobody's gone, because that happened and nobody got it right. But if it goes up and say, like, BeerMe had 1 point and nobody else had 1 point, BeerMe's eliminated. But if BeerMe had a point and on the other side, CT had a point, they kept each other in. It's that kind of thing. But say BeerMe had a point and so did GMSG on the same team, they're both eliminated. Like, you can't save yourself. They're both gone. So that's how Survivor Series works. It's fun. It's chaotic. It's hectic. And I was very glad to not have to worry about it, because I'd been in one every time in the past 4 years. This is the first time in, 6 years? I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
4 Survivor Series, and now we did one last year, and this is the first Survivor Series event I haven't been in a Survivor Series, and it was kind of a relief. Not gonna lie, because you got to think about the match placement, about when they're gonna happen too, right? So it's nuts. But I say all that because in this Survivor Series match, Symphony of Destruction, Ralantando, Josh Dionio, JJ Rocky, Payne, and Shurfdog defeated Final Heaven, Broken Nerd, Atlas Kiyama, Jason Blades, Static, and Captain Krulex Blackwell. Sole survivor, Shurfdog. The only one. Bit of a comeback from behind in there, but Shurfdog did get that win. Again, lots of chaos, as you'd expect from SOD. They almost got the tag titles. Final Heaven, you got a former world champion in there. You got people who almost, again, had the tag titles. You got a lot of chaos in a match like this. And I don't remember who I picked. I think I picked Nerd's team. I know you did at first. No, you picked Symphony. I think you were saying they were going to kind of run roughshod, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did, but it was a really close match, and it was probably one of my favorites to read out of all of them.
It was really good. I did not write a Survivor Series this year. That was CT who wrote those. I wrote the WarGames, and I wrote Wookiee's match. I think we went with some chaos on that. Wookiee and Danny Delight. I wrote that. That was it. WarGames is big. CT did the rest. And Red did a whole bunch of them too. So, but yeah, the order of elimination here. Broken Nerd took out Payne. Atlas Kiyama took out. Sorry, Payne took out Nerd. So yeah, Nerd was out immediately, which was like after these guys lost Tier 1, their team captain, and Nerd stepped up, and he was eliminated right away. That's awesome, but that's how the scores worked. We didn't write that in to be like, oh, it's a dramatic moment. No, he was out first, based on how that score structure works. You can't write this stuff sometimes. It just happens. It's awesome. So yeah, Nerd went out first. Atlas Kiyama out by JD, and then Jason Blades right after by JJ. Ralantando by Static. That was a big loss for the other side. JD out by Captain Krulex. JJ got counted out. Payne by Static. Static by Shurfdog. So that kind of chain reaction. And then Captain Krulex by Shurfdog. So yeah, Shurfdog had to come back from a Static from a Static and Blackwell deficit, which was Annex Asylum. Like, these new guys who came in at the summer ended up almost taking out the original Stray, former tag champion, and yet he came back from behind. It's such a weird thing, but that's how it worked. It's awesome. The structure is really, really fun, so yeah. Next up, we do have a contenders match here. The FPL Canadian Championship #1 contenders match, Watson rules. Chappers defeated Mad Elite Titan 11-7, so Chappers will go on as the next contender, which is kind of fun because Modstep was the last one, if you recall, BeerMe. So that's a wild situation for Escobar there, especially with the Familia and the Creatures history. Modstep, speaking of, defeated Bane the Bissa. Thanksgiving table hardcore match, that is typed in there twice. CM Carlito did defeat the Arbiter, because it was Thanksgiving for you Americans, so that was part of that. The Alpha Dog beat Dr. Zeus Theodore Geisel 26-19. Monkey Bong beat Mr. Glee 23-17. I think you picked Monkey Bong, so that's good for you there. Danny the Light Jordison and Wookiee went to a no contest. I had to rewrite that ending at the last minute. It happens. And we have a WarGames match. The actual Strays, Mark Harper, Michael Marsh, and Supreme Rock defeated the Legends of New School, the combination of the Canadian champion, Sebastian Escobar, the American champion, Ash, and former tag champ, Detrick Cyrus, and the Brits, Papa Snooch, J-Mac, and the Gaffer. The Brits kind of got steamrolled on that. They had them picks wrong, and they got 26 points. The Legends had 40, and the Strays 52. So the former Stray and the current Strays all won. So it was a good night for the Strays, even if you're not part of them anymore. Shurfdog still got that win, but there you go. That was actually the second WarGames match I wrote, because I wrote ours first. And I went a totally different angle on this one, and I had a lot of fun with it, so I hope people like it. I hope those guys do. If you do, hit me up. I want to know what you think, what we could do for other stuff. It's super fun. We had one pre-show match, BeerMe. It was El Cid versus Murmurs versus Kurt Cult. They were the only 3 names who had picks in that weren't still booked, so they got a triple threat. There you go. Very small when most of the card is in 4 matches. Achievements. Static, part-timer, got his 10th achievement. Urban got his 50th match. Sorry, achievement. Static got his 10th match, is what I meant to say. Urban had his 50th. CT, me, Red, Papa Snooch, The Gaffer, J-Mac, Escobar, and Cyrus went in their first WarGames. I know Lee was in one previously, and FBU all had one previously, so you guys were there already. James Blake, Static, Krulex, Atlas, Josh Dioneo, and JJ Rocky all were in a Survivor Series for the first time. Luke obviously had been previously, and with his partners as well. El Cid, Michael Martian, Supreme Rock won a triple threat, because that counts. That's how that works for WarGames. If you win a triple threat WarGames, you won a triple threat, so Martian Rock did get that. CM Carlito won a hardcore match. Chappers won a Watson Rules. Roman Pierce, Tino, Sheriff JD, and JJ won a Survivor Series. I've done that once out of 5 times. Bastion, BeerMe, and GMSG, that's you guys. You won a WarGames. You hadn't won a WarGames here yet. You lost Mania last year, if I remember correctly, to the Creatures? Or was it actually OVS that won that? I forget. I think it was OVS. They were the... No, it was FPU and OVS really feuding a lot, and the Creatures kind of came in and snuck the win, if I remember correctly. Because they weren't the favorite for that. I truly forget, but there we go. Bastion and JJ won their 5th tag matches. So, because you guys are the tag team, Bastion hadn't had many tag matches. He's done mostly solo. Supreme Rock won his 10th match. BeerMe, that's you. You won your 20th tag match.
Damn.
GMSG doesn't have that achievement or already had it. I'm not sure how that works because he's not listed here. So he must already have it from something else. Because I know he teamed with Bastion once or twice, and so have you, so there might be a mix of when that actually happened. I'm curious. Ironically, GMSG knows. He does all our stats, so he'd know that. He does have the 4 Horsemen achievement. GMSG beat the FPL owners. Now, for him, he only has to be 3 of us. Because he's one of them. So he does have that. I don't know if anybody else has it. I think 1 or 2 do. And I think the only person you need is GMSG, BeerMe. So when you gonna face him?
It'll be a while.
Yeah. It could just be a showcase, an exhibition. You know, it's fine. It's fine. Alpha Dog got match of the night for the first time, and Dr. Seuss Geisel got a total of 500 points. As mentioned, the kickoff show is there. It's a paragraph. It's 1 match. It's a triple threat. There's the WarGames match. And then Danny Delight and Wookie, Monkey Bong, Alpha Dog, Carlito. Oh, we got an announcement. Where'd it go? Hold on. It's Final Heaven, it's Survivor Series, Infinity. Scroll through. It was a long one. It was actually really, really long, but I put story in it. Okay, here we go. We do have stuff in here. We're going to talk about these momentarily because we're going to get the Final Battle and Deadline in a second. But it was announced during the write-up events of the show for Survivor Series WarGames that on December 10th, double feature, Final Battle will see James Blake defend the European Grand Prix title against the winner. Sorry, he will defend it. There will also be an Ultimate X match to determine the next challenger at Hard to Kill in January. So we'll come up to those in a second here. Later that night, Deadline, the must-see good guys, is defending the tag titles against the MBPA. We already knew that from previously. But also, Chappers is getting his Canadian title match at that show. So Escobar versus Chappers for the Canadian title. Watson rules, as always. And Carlito, who won an American title shot, also has that match at Deadline. That will be against Ash with a stipulation to be announced. Maybe momentarily. So let's keep scrolling through. There's the rest of the stuff with the antidote. There's the matches, all the fun stuff. It's super fun. Let's go to Final Battle. So BeerMe, Final Battle is the first of our doubleheader. I'm going to say this a bajillion times. The show is at like 4 in the afternoon. Sorry, I'm reading here. 3 in the afternoon. 0 hours at 2. Doors at 1. Consider doors deadline because it's an hour before the thing. 1 p.m. Eastern is your deadline on Saturday, December 10th. Not Friday, Saturday. I almost said Friday, but I saw it there. And during that show will likely be the deadline for Deadline because that's going to be an hour before. And NXT's weird. It's probably going to be a half-hour pre-show. Let's keep that in mind. So if it's 8 o'clock, that's probably a 7:30, so 6:30. If you're watching Final Battle, make sure your picks are in. Let's put it that way. Because it might be too late. So keep that in mind. Please, please, please. More on that next week, obviously. But we do have, obviously, the European Championship. It will be defended against somebody. We have Ultimate X with 4 people. The winner goes on to face the winner of the European title match at Hard to Kill. and then we have a whole bunch of question marks. So bear me, let's fill in some question marks. We both have a whole boatload of matches to announce. I have 5. How many have you got?
I have 5 as well.
Okay.
For Final Battle.
Well, since we're talking about the European Championship, I will mention that James Blake will defend the FPL European Grand Prix Championship against Mark Harper of the Straits.
All right.
So Harper is getting his European title shot at Final Battle. I presume you've got the 4 names for Ultimate X, right?
I do. And
how about you say those
right now,
so that we know it's either Blake or Harper defending at Hard to Kill against the winner of this match, Ultimate X. And yes, if there's a draw, it'll be both. Like it's just that, yeah. We've encountered this before with these. It's silly, but yeah. So who have you got for Ultimate X?
It'll be Static taking on El Cid, taking on Matt Zion, taking on Payne in an Ultimate X match.
Couple new guys, couple veterans. I don't pick Matt in that because Ultimate X, you got to kind of get things in a row, and that will not be to his strengths of random. Payne is dangerous in that, but I kind of like the idea of El Cid. I kind of like El Cid's chances in that. Coming in new, coming in strong, yeah. Forgive me, who was the 4th one? El Cid, Matt, Payne.
Payne and Static.
Static. Oh, Static, yeah, you never know with him. That could be good too. I don't know. I'm intrigued by that. But yeah, the winner of that goes on to face Blake or Harper at Hard to Kill. So some fun future stuff with that. I'll go on another one of my matches. Ralentando will go one-on-one with Atlas Kiyama. So we're seeing fallout on that. I don't know what to make of that. I don't pick against Ralentando. I just don't do it. And Atlas has been doing lots of tags.
Right.
But I guess now is the time to go after Ralentando. Now is the time to target him if you're going to. Not that Atlas is, but this is to his benefit. So I'm still picking Ralentando on that, but what's your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, pick Ralentando as well.
And yeah, we're not going through like full the full picks. That's next week. We'll do that next week because we're announcing it all pretty much right now, and we'll fill out the picks there. But gut feeling with the announcement, right? So who have you got though? What's your next one?
All right, I got Chef Urban. He'll be taking on
the world champion. The world champion.
The world champion, Chef Urban, formerly of the Antidote.
Yeah.
Will be taking on Mad Elite Titan in a non-title match.
Interesting. Because Mad Elite just lost that contendership, right? Which happens.
Yep.
And he's had a couple shots here and there, so that could be big. It's a house show. Okay, it's a bit different, but that's a big match. That's storyline-wise, that's big. That's a fun one. So we'll see kind of where things fall for him in that. I like that. I've got an untitled match as well. I'll mention this one. It is Sebastian Escobar, the Canadian champion, will be going one-on-one with Theodore Dr. Zeus Geisel. I don't pick against Escobar either. And the longer he has that belt to get it to Montreal, the better. I want that.
Right.
But Geisel is one that you do not take lightly. He, again, can make the most of that. And he could embarrass the Canadian champ. I don't mean that like he's like that much of an underdog, but I think Escobar should win the non-title situation. He doesn't normally lose the non-titles, but I think there's a danger here. He might lose this one. And that's not a way you want to end the year, especially when he's defending it later that night. That could be real bad. What do you think, though?
Yeah, it could be. I'm still going to pick Escobar, though.
You think he wins here, but he loses
probably.
his... But what about his second match of the night? Do you think he'll win that one? See, I did it this time.
Right. Right.
We'll get to that. We'll get there. What have you got, though? What's your next one?
I have James Costner, formerly the leader of the Antidote. He will be taking on Detrick Cyrus.
Too soon. That's interesting. I like that a lot because I just saw a lot of Costner in his dealings with Survivor Series and Luke, and Detrick with everything going on with the Legends kind of coming together with the WarGames. So That's two very different trajectories suddenly colliding. And I like that a lot. That's cool. And also, former world champion versus someone who's come close. So I like that. That's a good one. I'm going to actually announce my next two together, BeerMe, because one of them is your match. You are going one-on-one with Dion Blade.
Oh, dang.
The other is the GMSG's match, because you guys are tag champions. He's going one-on-one with Alexander McKennedy. You know, the guys that you're defending against later that night.
Right.
How do you feel about that?
I'm alright with it. Need a little tune-up, you know?
Yeah.
Got to figure out what they're all about, so...
Silly question. Would you have rather faced Dion or Alexander? Because you've got Dion. GMSG got Alexander. So
probably, I mean, either one. I would have faced Dion. I mean, GMSG hasn't faced McKennedy yet. I don't think I've faced Dion in a one-on-one match. So.
I think, did we team up against McKennedy and somebody? Like you and
JD.
I? Was it? Yeah, that's right. And we beat him. That's right.
Yeah.
We won that match. That's why we have the tag thing. Because we got it early. Because we got that tag win.
Oh, yeah, that's
so
right.
GMSG might get that 10th tag win or 20th tag win at Deadline if you guys win. That's probably what that was. Because we have that. You have the extra tag win because we tagged together. Remember those days?
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, so long ago.
Back in the good old days, that was like, what? Was that? Here's a dumb question. Was that this year or last year? I think it was last year.
Last year.
Yeah, because this year that's right. Oh yeah, because everything that went bad for me was this year. Because that was Backlash when we won the. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my final battle stuff. What's your last two to announce here?
Well, also I have to inform everybody. I can't count. I have 3 matches to announce. I have 6 altogether. Apparently.
Well, then go for the rest. Let's go.
All right, I got CJ Hawk. Will be taking on Sheriff Dog.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Ooh, former world champ, part of the surviving team versus the sole survivor. I like that a lot. That's cool. I like that. Gut feeling, I'm going with CJ on that, just because. But I've been to war with Sheriff Dog, and that could be a problem for CJ. So, I mean, Strays and Shades and Smiles, I think, had the history too, if I'm remembering correctly, or I'm just presuming that. It feels like they did. So I'm picking Hawk on that. I'm picking Hawk. I think his momentum is going to keep up on that.
All right. I got you, Scott. You.
Me.
You'll be on Rate Wrestle in a Watson Rules match.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
So this is the start.
I got to start somewhere, right? This is that Final Battle, huh? Okay. Let's go. Let's Jace had his make it violent. Let's make it Watson. I don't know. Yeah, all Watson all the time. Let's go. Oh, I gotta win that. Oh, it's Rate Wrestle. Oh, it's gonna be hard. That's gonna be so hard. He and I go back to show number 2. Oh,
yeah.
We just fought in the. Oh God, he beat my ass. Oh shit. All right, we gotta start somewhere. Okay, cool. All right. I'm confident. I am confident. I'm actually confident on Final Battle. I'm legitimately, so that should be okay. But, it's put up or shut up now, isn't it? Like on no joke, on my board, I've got the board up behind me, and it's got there's FB Final Battle. There's a line through WarGames because it didn't go right, and Montreal's below it all, so it's right there. Oh God, okay. What else have you got though, BeerMe? I took over from you there.
Oh, you're good. I have Redhead 12 taking on Lexi Briggs.
Okay.
Taking on Luke Gray.
Oh wait, more? Oh.
Taking on the Arbiter in a fatal 4-way.
Red, Lexi, Luke, and Arbiter.
Yes.
I'm picking Red, obviously. I'm biased.
Right.
I'm biased. Lexi's very dangerous. Arbiter, you can never count out. And Luke Gray is on the biggest momentum he's on in a while. And Red did get her ass beat in WarGames with me. No, I'm picking Red still. I don't care. I'm biased. I acknowledge the possibilities of the others, but I'm picking Red. Yeah.
Right.
What about you? Who's your gut feeling on that?
Luke Gray.
Yeah, I can't blame you there.
Yeah.
I get you. Yeah. All right, what else you got?
All right. That's it for Final Battle.
That's it? Okay. We're not done, though, because that's at 3 o'clock. Coming up at 8 o'clock is Deadline. So, Deadline, we already know, as I click over to the graphic, there we are. Graphics, again, are done by CT. Very, very cool. Continental tag titles, as mentioned, the good guys defend against the MBPA. We know that. Canadian title, Escobar versus Chappers. We know that. FPL American title, Ash versus Carlito. We know that. Stipulation, we don't. Do you have that stipulation, BeerMe?
For which one?
The American Championship, Ash versus CM Carlito.
I do. It is a submission match.
Submission match. There we go. So we'll announce that one. There it is. Submission match, Ash versus CM Carlito. Different style for that. Little less of the insane violence, but still stipulation and gets to go out there and do their thing. So I look forward to that and seeing how that goes. Ash just beat Bastion, remember, and that's not for nothing. I did defend the ultra-violent title against Carlito back a couple of years ago. He's a tough gout. He's a tough one to beat. So it's doable, though. It's doable. Yeah, your match is not a stipulation, by the way. It is just the Must See Good Guys versus the MBPA for the tag titles. Canadian titles, Watson rules, as always. And then a whole bunch of blanks. Let's fill this in, BeerMe. So you've got that one. How many matches do you have to announce for this show?
4.
I have 5.
Yeah, my 5th one was that.
Cool.
Was the step.
So I'll jump in here then. I've got the Light of the Cult, Kurt Cult and Danny the Light Jordison. We'll go 2-on-2 with La Familia, Detrick Cyrus, and the Alpha Dog, former tag champions. And remember, the Light of the Cult went from basically being 0-3 with the tournament and stuff like that to winning twice in a row and doing very good. So I'm going to be the insane person to pick Light of the Cult on that one. Even though it's La Familia. I should pick La Familia, but I'm picking Light of the Cult. Who you got? Gut feeling.
I'm gonna too, just because they're on a win streak, and I kind of want to see them keep going. So
sounds good. Sounds good. What else have you got?
I have. Which one do I want to do? Okay. Well, you know what? I got Chef Urban, the world champion.
Okay.
He'll be taking on Luke Gray in a non-title match.
Ooh, that's what Luke gets for winning Survivor Series main event. He gets to go one-on-one with the world champion on a main show. Non-title, but we've said this a bajillion times. You win that kind of match, and you're automatically looked at quite regularly in those rankings. Not that we have actual rankings, but you know what I mean. He's not going to get a world title shot if he beats... Let's just say that. He's not getting a world title shot if he beats him, but he's in the conversation if he does. It can only benefit you if you do. So, yeah, I'm pulling for Luke. I want him to win that match. I want to see that win. That'd be an awesome way to close out the last FPL show of 2022. And that happens. That's just cool. Not that I don't like Urban. I love that Urban's champion. We've been saying that since January. We've wanted that. So, I like this story. It's not one that I expected. That's cool. I like that. I'll announce a match here. It is Roman Pierce, former world champion, going one-on-one with former world champion Jonathan C.T. Martin. Sliding upwards, sliding sideways, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, CT and Roman, former world champions. We're at a point now when we can say that. We're straight up, it's a match between former world champions. I don't care that Roman only had it for 5 days. Or, 5 minutes. He won it. He's former world champ. That's the person that CT cashed in on. Remember? So this is kind of been building as a one-on-one for a while now. So here we go. So I'm definitely intrigued by that. I'm picking CT. Just I don't know why. I feel like Roman would have won if not for Money in the Bank's bonus. Keep that in mind. But that was SummerSlam. This is Deadline. It's going to be different and very unpredictable. So I'm leaning towards CT on this one.
Right. I'm going to pick Roman Pierce.
Okay. Any reason?
He's gonna want revenge, and CT's on a slide right now. So
Oh.
you know.
There you go. All right, what have you got?
Yeah. All right, I have. Let me see. I have the Annex Asylum, Static, and Captain Krulek Blackwell. We're taking on Symphony of Destruction, Sheriff Dog, and Pain.
And again, we've got people who did well versus people who almost did, because that's kind of how it went. Sheriff Dog had to defeat the Annex, right? And he did.
Mm-hmm.
But now what happens when it's 2-on-2 and Sheriff Dog has a partner? I'm picking Sheriff Dog. I'm picking him on that because he beat both of them. So I'm picking Sheriff Dog on that. But Annex, can't cut these guys out. They are the strays when we talked about the strays in early 2021. Like, they're the guys coming in there trying to prove themselves and prove everybody wrong. And so far, they're doing pretty good. So I'm still picking Sheriff Dog's team, though. Sheriff Dog and Pain, right? SOD? Yep. Yeah, I'm picking them. What about you, though?
I'm actually gonna pick the Asylum on this one.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know why. Just a feeling. Hunch.
Okay. Next up, I've got James Blake, the FPL European champion, 1-on-1 with Modstep. Not defending. Actually, he might not even be champion. He might have lost it to Mark Harper by this point, hours earlier. But Blake and Modstep are going 1-on-1. Modstep looking to stay in the title picture of something. And needs a main show win. So this could be good for him. This could be great. Could see what happens there. So we shall see. We shall see on that one. I'm picking the Euro champ, but Modstep literally wins all these ones that don't matter but do. So Modstep's probably the safe bet, and I'm probably pick him next week. But I'm picking Blake right now. How about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what's next for you? Who have you got?
All right.
We've never had to announce this many matches before. This is crazy.
Yeah.
This is
Okay,
timing.
speaking of...
This is wild, because we had to wait for Survivor Series first, right? So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so speaking of... We're talking about the European champion.
Uh-huh.
The guy who might be the European champion, Mark Harper, will
Oh,
be taking on Redhead 12.
he might have that belt
So-
for like 3 hours by the time this match happens. And Red goes
That's
out there
true.
and gets a win over him? Wow, that'd be awesome. Or even the guy who almost won it. That's good for Red on a main show. Even though it's different, because it's more like a house show belt in parts of how that European title works. Still doesn't hurt to get a main show win over a champion. That never hurts. So, go Red. I'm pulling for Red on that one, absolutely. By all means. Yeah. Here's an interesting one. This is the Operation. Smooth Rock and Theodore Geisel. 2-on-2. I was going to say 1-on-1, but they're facing off against the singular opponent of a team. The language is not quite there for how I'm trying to say it. The Operation, Smooth Rock and Theodore Dr. Zeus Geisel, will face, there we go, Shades and Smiles, CJ Hawk and Lexi Briggs. I'm picking Shades and Smiles. They almost won the tournament. I'm picking them. But the Operation, you never know. And that's the beauty of it. I don't know. And Geisel and Smooth Rock have been kind of doing really good. But I'm picking Shades and Smiles. I've faced them before, and I've got that familiarity a little more direct. So that's my pick. How about you?
I'm going to pick the Operation.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know why. I'm just... Another feeling.
Okay. What's your last one to announce, right?
My final match will be a Watson Rules match, and it will be you taking on Mad Elite Titan.
I took a drink of water when you started with that. All right. 2 Watson Rules in a row. Let's get used to this crap. All right. I don't mean crap like it's negative, but it's like, all right, this is the thing now. This is what I wanted. So, oh boy. Yeah, I say this every time, but I flat out refuse to have any participation in my own booking aside from, hey, I'd like to do this and work toward the title. I know I'm starting at the bottom. Here we are. And I know, flat out, if I lose this match, that's pretty much it. Like, I'm not getting the shot at Chamber. I already kind of know that. Like, that's probably it. Because there's what? Rumble? And that's it? Like, I'm not even guaranteed to get it even if I win. Like, it's such a long shot, but gotta try. So yeah, I've had no input on it aside from, I think CT asked, like, hey, you want Watson rules? That's what you want, right? And went, yeah, that makes sense. All Watson all the time. So, yeah,
Well,
I'm gotta make some big swings, so here we go. Oh, frick.
yeah, careful what you wish for.
Rate Wrestle and Mad Elite back-to-back in Watson rules. Oh, frick. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how about I give you this match, BeerMe? This is a big one. This is a big one. This is a Deadline main event level match. I think you guys are the main event, the tag title match. But I'll just say, this match, the winner of this match is going to face Chef Urban for the FPL World Championship at the Royal Rumble. How about I start with that?
Okay.
How about I say there's 5 names in this match?
Oh, wow.
And that's it. We're not doing like a Deadline count thing. You want to hear our opinion on that? You can listen to Top of the Card when that episode goes up. It's just we're taking the 5-person thing. Because we knew coming into this that Survivor Series was going to sort out a lot of things, and yet not a lot. It would determine a lot of storyline and natural things that come out of it. Things like Operation and Shades of Smiles and Roman and CT. And like a lot of the matches you just heard announced for both these shows really spun out of that. And we went, this could be cool if. And thankfully a lot worked in our favor. And some didn't, and we got the pivot and made some cool stuff we didn't plan for. Very, very neat. This match, we knew we needed a number 1 contender for the Rumble. And this was the last spot to really do it because it was defended prior to Survivor Series and wouldn't be again till the Rumble, and this is it. So, the 5 that are in this match for the World Championship, and it's a fatal 5-way. That's it. We have Bastion. We have Bane the Bissa. We have Monkey Bong. We have Josh Dionio. And we have Broken Nerd. 1 fall to a finish. Winner faces, presumably, Chef Urban. Yeah, he's not defending otherwise. Winner faces Chef Urban at the Royal Rumble. Now, I know some of those names are like, yeah, okay, yeah. Others is like, what? It's that movement up,
right.
And we looked, and these are the 5. It's like, yeah, the way things are here and there. We got some American title positioning, some Canadian positionings. We got the tags where they are. Yep, this is what we got. And I'm not knocking that. Like, I love it. I love new names coming in here. At the same time, yeah, it's Bastion. I know. But he's doing that good. I know he just lost the American title shot, but when you look at who are the top 5, he's one of them. So he's in there. Bane getting the first shot of this kind I love seeing that name there. Dude, Monkey Bong's in this match. How happy are you about that?
That's pretty dope.
Monkey Bong could go after it. Didn't Monkey Bong run into Urban in the tournament? No, he didn't. We thought of that, but he didn't do it. That's right. JD is the most dangerous man in this match and is the one to watch out for. And I could absolutely see him winning this. I don't want to say easily, but I wouldn't even second guess it. Broken Nerd looking for that redemption as well. He was champion for 2 weeks. And he lost to Chef Urban. So that's a kind of a case of let's bring that around. None of these guys are getting the shot here. They have to win this to get the shot. It's like, all right, you're kind of in position. 1 more win might do it, maybe a couple. Put all 5 in there. Winner gets in there. And obviously we've done a triple threat before where like second and got a shot later, and that's the current world champion. Not saying that's what's happening here, but we keep that in mind. So like Broken Nerd wins it with a score of 65, and Bastion had 62. That's pretty freaking good. He's not far off from getting another chance like this to get a shot at the title again. That's just how it is. If Monkey Bong goes out there and gets 70, he's going to go after the champion, and we might be saying FPL World Champion at WrestleMania is Monkey Bong. That could happen. The Royal Rumble could end, and we're like, oh my god, this person won the Rumble. He will be facing FPL World Champion Monkey Bong at Mania, if Monkey Bong makes it. Or JD, or Nerd, or Bane, or Bastion. I love it. It's awesome. I know you're going to pick Bastion. I know you're going to pick Bastion. It's your guy. It's FPU. But, dude, Monkey Bong. I know you kind of want that, right? Like, if you can't have Bastion, you're picking Monkey, aren't you?
It's true. Yeah.
I know you're a big fan of Nerd also, so I can see that being.
Yeah.
And JD's kind of like almost uncrowned as world champion because I feuded with him over the world title back in JRPL years ago, and that's definitely something I know he wants to get back to. And Bane new in the position to come in here and get that. That'd be cool. Bane debuted in our first Rumble and could be going to win the title at our third. That's cool. That's really neat. Monkey Monk's even newer than that. Who are we kidding? So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Remains to be seen. But that's Deadline. That's the stuff set for Final Battle and for Deadline. It is our double shot of shows on December 10th, Saturday. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be crazy. Please, please, please remember to get your picks in. The ROH picks will probably be up after Dynamite because AEW is where that's up broadcasts. We know that they're probably going to tape Rampage that night. We go with what's officially out. So if you know about matches that are announced, keep that in mind for your picks. If one gets changed, keep it lower. We only go with what they announce officially. If we put up our picks last night, we wouldn't have had Athena versus Mercedes yet because they announced it on Twitter today. If we did it today, that match is in there. You get me? So keep that in mind. Deadline, same thing. Keep that in mind, especially with the idea of a 5-way match where they could always pull a name out of it. Keep that in mind. Don't put too many points on there because they might change it up. It's historically a thing to do with chambers and matches of the like. So keep that all in mind. Get your picks in. Be on the last shows of 2022. Now, the last thing I'll say to all this is I know we'll be here for the go-home next week to really kind of hammer out what we think is going to be the winners and losers of these shows. After that will be a recap, obviously, of those two shows. And then we're looking basically towards the end of the year because there's no more FPL shows after December 10th. So we'll start working on things with our medal ceremony, which was our best of 2021 originally, and we'll start that process for 2022. The things like the Superstar of the Year, Match of the Year, Moment of the Year. We will have Newcomer of the Year because we have actual rookies compared to last year where everyone was technically an FPL rookie. So we'll have a Rookie of the Year. Stuff like that. We're not doing Jobber of the Year. We don't do Worst Mode of the Year. We don't want to highlight that stuff. We want to focus on the fun. We want to focus on the positive stuff. So that's the plan. That will be coming. There will be voting just like last time. Keep an eye out for that. And yeah, the irony of part of that is I might not be on one of those trenches because I'm going to be on vacation for parts of that and not around. So that might be up to you, BeerMe, and CT to handle parts of that at the end of the year. I don't know. We'll get there. I just booked a flight this afternoon, so we'll see.
Oh, all right.
But yeah, that's Christmas with family for the first time in 3 years. I'm kind of excited. Some stuff's more important, as always. This stuff is super fun, but I gotta do. So, yeah, that is. I was at the top of the card. That was last night. This is FPL. This is Frontline in the Trenches, the Frontline Prediction League. It is Frontline League on Twitter. That's still a thing. But we're going to have a hive eventually. I know Red's working on getting that set up, so we'll have that eventually at some point too. But it is Frontline League on Twitter, Frontline Prediction League's YouTube channel. You're watching this on right here. Like, favorite, subscribe, hit the bell even, all that stuff, whatever there. But also go to our Discord and chat in there. It's 9:46 p.m. on a Thursday. Impact's doing their thing. People are in there in live event. Probably not, actually. It's been quiet. But there's character chat already from the results from this past weekend, and there's promos going to be coming for next weekend. Keep that stuff all going. It is a lot of fun. Check all that stuff out. We love it. We get so thrilled to see the promos coming out from that and all that stuff. So please join up with that if you're not already. It's a lot of fun. BeerMe, as always, I throw it to you for the ending here. Anything you want to say to the peoples for one last thing? I was waiting on the spot every time. So
thank you. Yeah, thank you for listening, and we'll see you all next week.
Sounds good. We will see you next week, guys. Thanks again. Have a good night.